founding partner of Kobayashi Maki Design Workshop. His wife and partner, Ms. Maki, is right there. KMDW is an architecture and urban design firm based in Tokyo. The firm's work encompasses a full range of design skills from furniture and interior design to large building complexes and urban design. Projects include work for cities and communities in Japan, China, Indonesia, Myanmar, Palau, and Peru. Most recently, KMDW has been building design methodology using engineered wood, such as plywood, right after the disaster happened in Japan 2 years ago. Today, he is talking this title called Resilient, Responsive Redesign of Space, introducing Veneer House projects he completed in Japan, as well as a new project in Myanmar. Professor Kobayashi.
Thank you. I'm Hiroto, and she's Naomi, my partner. When I'm stuck, she will help me. Today, just would like to introduce some projects of our firm KMDW. And also I'm working for Keio University and teaching architecture and urban design. So some projects are combined from the university and then our firm. So just start. We, KMDW, actually today is the 10th anniversary of KMDW.
Happy birthday!
Wow, 10 years, yes. Then we basically, these issues that we are concerned about. Then get several projects from developers and private sectors or some public sectors, and some urban projects like this in Kobe. And here, a part of redevelopment project in Tokyo, working with SOM New York. And here is a mountain house in Hakone, private mountain house. And this is our idea to use LVL and plywood to build a 14-story residential tower in Japan. To do so, we need some non-flammable wood technology. And we just worked with some engineer to develop that technology. And then we got the 2 hours fire rated permission from the government. So basically technically we can build this. But we are trying to find a sponsor. So we have to do that this moment. Then this is basically designed by SOM New York Tokyo Midtown project, which was completed in 2007. So we are representing SOM now in Tokyo, in Japan, and we are doing some other projects with them. And unfortunately, we started to work with SOM San Francisco here, but the project stopped. That's why we missed the chance. But we are still pursuing the chance, working with SOM in San Francisco. And some other projects are happening in Beijing, and this one is Tokyo, but Hong Kong-based developer. So we try to collaborate with several companies or sectors or organizations internationally. That's our purpose. So try to expand and also introduce many companies and people from all over the world. And these days we are involved in some projects in Peru. These are hotel project and residential on the top of the hill. The altitude is 3,500 meters. Is how many feet? 10,000 feet, something like that. Yeah, it's very high. And then here in Jakarta, some office buildings and some Palau resort. And it's fun, of course, to go to many different places all over the world. But at the same time, it is very difficult to understand their local culture. But that is very important part. So we try to be involved in their own culture and then try to understand and try to interpret in sort of modern way to achieve this project. So today, we just would like to show 4 specific projects, which is related to wood and also community and some issues of programs, of social programs. Because later, after this project, this one completed this year, so after this we got that tsunami and Fukushima project, Fukushima plants first, 2011. So we started to think how to respond to those things, sort of disasters, as an aspect. So first we would like to introduce the daycare center, which is for demented elder. That is older people but has dementia. So it's a difficult condition. And the site is, it's very difficult to understand, but this is Japan. Okay? And around here, Tokyo, and then here's the site. This is the biggest lake, Biwa, and here's Kyoto, and here's Osaka. So very close to Kyoto. Sort of a older area, I mean the historical area. And here inside here, this is the Biwa lake. And then the mountain, surrounded by the mountain, and then population is about less than 2,000 people. This is one part of the village, the village, it's a beautiful area. And then I took this photo from the mountain, top of the mountain. It's heavy snow at the time. So the problem is depopulation first, of course aging, and the younger people moved out from this area to Osaka or Tokyo. Then also a declination of local industry like farming and also forestry. So this is actually, and also another problem is a lot of damage of by the wild animals, like the monkeys coming down from the mountains, and the boar or deer or sometimes bear. It's very dangerous. At the same time, even they just grow several crops and fruits and everything. Just one day before their harvest, monkeys come and then open the net. And then they're very clever because they put small monkey into the inside. One day, so they know when is the best time. So it's very difficult. So what they are doing is to just there's a field here and then covered by the sort of a mesh net, and they're working inside. And outside, the monkey is sitting. And they're watching. So it's totally different, opposite situation. So I was very amazed, and then I just want to use their sort of brain how to improve this village. But that part is very difficult. I'm not a specialist of monkey, so I would like to communicate with the monkey specialist how to collaborate. So this is a beautiful place, and I just happened to know this place by chance. The reason why is later I just want to show you one house. Our client's mother came from this village. She demised already, but then that person just asked us to relocate the old folk house from here to Hakone, which actually we show here, the mountain house. Right? Then the concept is okay, old house they just want to have, so they just I talked with the local people here, who is a cousin of the client. Then he sent me as an architect to this place to see that folk house. Okay? That's why I just came here 2006, already 7 years ago. And I found the house. It's beautiful. And it's very old, like 100 years old. But then I found that it's a bit pity to after they lose their owner, after 20 years, the village has a right to demolish the house because it's dangerous, heavy snow. And then if nobody maintains, the house will be dilapidated and also broken. So after 20 years, all just torn down. So many sort of empty lots happening here. That's very pity. So I just didn't want to just relocate the house. Unfortunately, it cost so much. That's why the client said, "Oh no, we don't have the house. And since that time, I just started to work for this project. I mean, the village, and then we did some project. So this project is senior home, and then day center. So we first, had to know how difficult for them to even move. Okay? So I just tell my student, okay, let's just. I did too, and it was very tough. At the same time, dementia, they do not remember what they ate just last night's dinner. But they remember like 20 years ago, 50 years ago, or kids' memory, clearly. So idea is to get some idea from this old house. This is 100 years old, and then senior people used to live in this type of house. So they know how to live in this type of house, even now. So we started to do research on this type of house. It's Yogo style, so. And then we just try to mimic the house, basically copy the special configuration, materiality, and the height and some space, quality. Actually, this is the house which actually I was supposed to relocate. But then we started to do research on this house, and then we got several ideas from this house. So these are Yogo style. And it's beautiful. Originally, this is a fast roof, but now it's covered. Then I saw that these are all Japanese. Yesterday I just gave up translating into English. But basically, you can have like 3 spaces, in a house. And this is the kitchen, most outside, and then in the middle. And this is the bedroom, and also the place for a small shrine in the house, small sort of a temple to protect the old ancestors statue. So, and then also we just searched, research how people move or use this house, and also some environmental issue, sun or light or wind. Then we just learned, then how to use this idea to the house. Also, we entered the old house. This is 100 years old house, and we found that these beams are very, special in this house, and without any column in the middle. Usually, we have column. This is the most heaviest part. So, but then this is the counter. So we just started to make a scheme model, and here is the kitchen part, and then here in the middle, and here's the deepest part. And the shape of the house is like this. So then we just communicated with the association of the senior people. Then we found that we can go with this. So finally, we built this house here. It's a much more simplified and modern compared with this existing house. Here's the one, and then again the middle. Basically, this seems like a roof, but it's a middle because it's covered on the top of the house roof. And here's the entrance, and here's the kitchen part. There's a garden in between. Okay, and we use the natural wood, which actually all just taken from this area, including these cedars and spruces. So we try to use a local material as much as possible to revitalize their sort of wood industry. So this type of project is of course for the organization, but at the same time for the people who are working in this area. So it seems like very old, but everything is new. This is a cherry tree, and it's a 2 cross beam. Like this. So people really know, feel sort of a nostalgia in that sense, in this house. And then senior people, especially demented people, know how to behave here. So that's very nice. And we learn a lot from these people. And after that, after it being used, we just visit several times and did some interview. And she is taking care of them. And yeah, so it's a very difficult job, but at the same time it's worth to do. And the idea is, these are actually, she's not so young, right? And they're living in this area. That means relatively younger, I should say younger senior, take care of older senior. So like 60s take care of 80s. And then gradually, getting older and older. So that kind of system we just apply. At the same time, here is an entrance, and then we just wanted to have a very traditional dirt floor. So it's a traditional way. I've never used that kind of material to just never applied to the regular house. But then we just did some kids workshop to make the dirt floor here. Because local kids are getting smaller and smaller. I mean, number is smaller and smaller. But they just came here and then did this one. And they enjoyed very much. And after finishing this building, they could come to this facility so many times. Because they are very proud of the fact that they're doing this. So to promote the communication with the kids and then senior people, that kind of workshop is very helpful, and also action helped a lot. So we found that we need some sort of idea to connect people with the different generations. At the same time, we have a workshop with here with MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology students every year. So they come here every summer. So try to sort of mingle the Japanese students and local people, kids, and senior and everybody every year. So this is the first project, and then we finished that in 2010. But then after that, we encountered this big event, 3/11. As you know, it's a big thing. This is the waterfront area. Seashore area of Sentai City, and then here is the ocean, and it's just a tsunami came this way, and it's devastating. This is 2 months later. That means May of 2011. I went here, and still 2 months later this situation. Now all debris just clean up, so just a very sort of huge space is open. But nothing else. It's a big thing. I was in Tokyo and then in a big conference room and having a conference. And after the earthquake, I just went out and the people were just walking on the streets everywhere in the city. And it was the first experience for me to see so many people walking on the streets. And then cars all stopped. The buses all stopped. Even the people, full of people in the bus, but the bus couldn't move. So if really we have a big earthquake in Tokyo, the panic will happen. Then that is another big issue. So we are very concerned about it. And now our family, in a sense, moved to Berkeley. We are now living in Scotland, you see, Berkeley. And then we just sort of escape from Tokyo. And we found that Berkeley also. So anyway, we can escape from that kind can just, oh sorry, just to show very quick video here. This is Ishinomaki city, this big ship. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and already Ministry of Defense and then also American Army, they just came here to help people, but too many things to do, and it's really, really shocking. So Ishinomaki is sort of south of Miyagi prefecture, and the second biggest city in Miyagi prefecture. But then still they have many problems, and still this big ship is there. So it's very difficult just to remove this big ship. So situations like this, and also tsunami. I got this one from this website. Here is Onagawa area, which actually we work with in Namisan and Onagawa. This is 10 meter, like 30 feet. And then here, you can see like 40 meters, like 4 times this house. And it's really scary. And this is Fukushima area. So tsunami really took everything. And we just thought that after this big event, not only architects but planners also, they think what to do. And the government started to just use the consulting firm, civil engineering, to settle things down. But the lack of communication with the local people. So still we have many problems. And what we do is more like a grassroots activity, more like people need something for tomorrow. So we just started to think how to, what we can provide for them. So what we did first at school is a sort of design build in a building methodology we used. And Ishinomaki actually is a city where there are many engineer wood manufacturing companies there. Because Miyagi is the prefecture where a lot of wood can be provided for those industries. So, but unfortunately, those companies are located near the port because they have to import woods from Southeast Asia at the same time export this plywood to all over the world. So they factory, actually I visited the factory 2 months before the earthquake and then all devastated. But fortunately we could get some plywood here from that company. These are all damaged, but it's not, that's why it's sort of dark part, is that all damaged, plywood. So it's very cheap actually, in good price actually we could get. So we thought that how to use plywood to first revitalize their sort of industry, that one thing. And also, if we can just assemble sort of a house in a very fast way, it must be very helpful for the people who need a house or a community space in this area. So we just use this some technology that make a notch here, and then just insert and then assemble to make a house. And the students do this. And this is an 18 millimeter. It's about 5/8 inch thick plywood. Then in Japan, the size is, the most popular size is 3 feet by 6 feet. Here maybe 4 by 8. So we just use the most popular sort of a board, and then we just make mock-up at school first. Then try to cut as we just didn't make any waste from this board. So try to make this into 2 or into 4. So divided, the module is maybe 400 or 5 or something. Then idea is to assemble, but at the same time disassemble, and they use the same material in different places. And eventually, we would like to reduce the kinds of panel, the number of the panel, like until some single numbers, like 7, 8 kinds. If so, we can really apply in many ways. Then many kind of house can be built with those panels. So this is the first Veneer House. It's in Maeami-hama. And Maeami-hama is the north of East. And then this area all devastated. That's why you can see the concrete base here. Then one guy tried to make a community house first. Then I just communicated with him, and then just okay, let's make one house by using the local plywood. The same way. Make a notch, and then this time, unfortunately, we couldn't get the computer controlled CNC router. That's why local manufacturer cuts by hand, like 300 or 400 notches. So very tough, and are also not accurate. So sometimes very difficult to just construct the building. I just would like to show some process of how to assemble. And this one is an upper beam, and then the joint is like this, very simple. This one is a 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet. So total, this one, the longest span is 7.2 meters, 22 feet. Then this is the lower beam, and but the joint, basically we use and the screws, because it's easy to disassemble. So we didn't use any glue. And then we put the pine base, and then we just put these sort of frame, like 8 frame or 7 frames. Then insert and then try to just fix it. Difficult part is, for example, this long linear material. We just wanted to use LVL, laminated veneer number, which is also veneer. But then that time we couldn't find. That's why we used this one. It's a 2x4 material, which was I think maybe important. And the thing is, the framework we could finish very short period, something like 3 weeks. But after that, we have to put exterior walls, roof, and interior insulation. And it took like 3 months after that. So difficult part was the finish, I found. So even if we have a very sort of sophisticated way of constructing the frame, the finish is actually, it takes time. So and then this is the final day. They're very happy and also very tired. Basically, I took students from Tokyo, so like it cost a lot of money to just let them go. And also, first 1-2 months, they are very happy. Wow, this is a real project. The latter half, again, sure go. And then, go or come. That was the most difficult part. And then that's why usually this only gap, but it's also it's easy if we just cut by router, very accurate. But in this case, not so accurate. That's why he has to. And the timing was very bad. Starting from January, ending in April, the end of April. So it's snowing and very cold. And we worked from 8 to 5 o'clock in the evening while the sun is still up. So it was very cold. But inside it's so sun. And they work very hard. Sometimes very dangerous. I did the safest part. I know, basically. And gradually, it's very close to the completion, and we found that the edge is just 8 feet. just put some sort of horizontal element to make a shelf, and then of course it works as a structure element, and get some lights inside. Then finally, we finished this one at the beginning of May 2012 last year, and we put some sort of cloth to make a roof, ceiling, and then put the light inside. And then also the skylight is just above. So the light also comes in daytime. Exhausted. One of my students. But we are so happy because really, students are very happy first. And then usually it is very difficult to experience this type of construction at school. So we just did this one not only for, of course, local people, but at the same time for students. Gyoryu is the name of this place. Originally, there was a bath house here. It's called Gyoryu. The person ran the bath house. So after this completion, we just had a plan to build a bath house, public bath house. But because of the lack of money, we just stopped. And now they're using this way. So these are the shelves. This is, I have to tell you, I thank you very much, because this is a bit strange situation, right? Parties, celebrities in center of Tokyo, and around midnight, and there's a model of the house, because AFH, tomorrow Aida and William Galloway, both are representing AFH in Tokyo. They kindly coordinate a party for us for this project. And then one guy living in, he's American or Canadian, one guy sort of called people from all over Tokyo to have a party. And then the half of the entering fee was donated to this project. And then actually $10,000 we could get through this money, just only for 1 month. And really great. And I really appreciate your support to this person. Otherwise, we couldn't put the roof. Then this is the last day, the happiest moment. Everybody's smiling. She's smiling a lot. Okay, and then this is the Veneer House 2, which was completed last 2 months ago, February 24th, just exactly 2 months. And this project was sponsored by your organization. And the last project, Naomi kindly came to the site, and then we just I had a chance to show this project to her, and then she got kind of interested in the project. Then we just started communicating, and one day I got a mail from her, and then I'm interested in working for this project, and because the budget is limited. Then we found that we did one project. That's why we could get some sense that how much we have to spend to make this house. This is a 1,000 square foot community house, and it's basically for the community of the fishermen, because this village was sort of fisherman's village, and originally 23 families lived there, and then more than 80% all just houses. This place here is the second floor of the community building, which was made in concrete. But can you see this all just a frame, only frame. And then all the sashes and everything else is all gone. So they decided not to use this building. So they needed one community house for themselves. So we just first came here last year, maybe fall, and then we made it summer, and we started to start how to apply those plywood this time we learned a lot. Actually, we learned a lot from the previous project, and we didn't have time to just make a sort of even a drawing, to just construct the building. So this time we decided, okay, we should take some time to make the construction period short. Otherwise, we just go back and forth and it took a long time. So this time we made, these are actually fishermen. So this time, not students, of course students joined some, but mainly local fishermen wanted as a contractor. Then we, this time, made a manual like this, and even without any instructor, the day, for example, like, 4 people, total like 1.5 hours, and then, these are the elements, and you can collect these from the stockyard, and then assemble this. If so, nobody can just, doesn't have to instruct how to make it, and then they can just make it by themselves. So this is the way we sort of improved compared with the last one. And these are all fishermen, basically. But of course, we sent one guy who supervised this site. And he's the youngest guy who did this community. But he was very reliable and it was very, very helpful for us and for them too. And also, we used Facebook this time to collect sort of people. So, what's improved compared with the last one was that we use a sort of communication tool, like a manual, like a Facebook. Then a month later, something like this completion, and it's all column the same system. And then these beams, it's called rough tile. These are all LVL this time, not 2x4. So LVL also made it big. So this building is completely, wood part is completely made by veneer sheets. And it's the beautiful time because we can see all the structure part. Any kind of building, if you see the structure, it is very beautiful. So I just took many photos. And fishermen is on the top of the roof. And then I just really afraid that if they fall, it's very dangerous. But they actually had no problem on the top of the roof, even it's slanted, because on the top of the ship, the boats, and moving, it's really brilliant. They didn't fall. So no problem. He's actually late 60s, but he's the guy who really does it. It's amazing. I couldn't go up to the top of that. I'm the always safest.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Did you just say that the rafters are plywood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's LVL. Laminated veneer lumber.
Okay.
It's just usual plywood is this one, laminated this one. But LVL is on the same direction. If so, you can make a longer, element.
Okay.
Eventually, it's the regular size is like a 6 meters, 18 feet, but you can make it longer. So this one is something like less than 6 meters, but basically it's also again the same material. Yeah, it's like a plywood. But at the same time, this is a bit difficult for us to get, other than this area. That means in Japan, the plywood manufacturer produced this one, but not in third countries. So they just produce regular plywood. So the issue actually we got this project is that LVL is not so popular other than Japan or other than United States. So the next project, we did different. And then our staff and they started to think, okay, next one, how to draw. So trying to catch up, because the construction is very fast. And then they just made a manual, so they really had to have it. Then finished. That's one February 24. We put the polycarbonated corrugated outside. Roof is a metal. And the timing, then Mr. Yoshikawa is the member of AFH. He's collecting garbage, the last one. very nice. Wonderful. And then the final day, okay, this house is composed of two sections. One is a storage. This part is a storage. And the other one is a community space. So then finally we clean up and then we start. Take photo. Maybe you can see this guy, right? This guy is Ultraman. Do you know Ultraman? Nobody? Ultraman, thank you very much. Ultraman is a very popular TV character in Japan. And there are many series. And I think maybe more than like 10 or 12 series. And the first one is Ultraman. Second one is Ultraman 7. Ultraman Taro. Ultraman something. This guy is called Ultraman Returning. So he just went somewhere, but he returned to the Earth, to help Earth, right? Then, this guy really returned just after 1 year of the earthquake. So that tsunami just took him away. But a year later, he really came back to this village. One day, one guy just found that he sat just half in the mud and in the beach, and he was there. So, and then, wow, you returned. And then this guy is a real return Ultraman. So we were shocked in a sense. And then that's why we just put this here. And it's a sort of a symbol of the recovery. So really returning Ultraman. So I love this guy, but he got some injured. So, somebody carried this shoulder. Okay. So we started to use this building, and this is the community space. So we put the tatami material, and then here is the LVL, and we use not this way, but this way is more like a sectional cutting, sliced. Then it's beautiful sort of material. So I just want to show you later, and it's the view towards the ocean. Now it's very quiet. And then they just started to start fishing now. So life returning gradually, but still a lot of issues they have. So here's the material. This is tatami. And this is the like a 3 millimeters thick veneer is accumulated and then sliced. So it's really a sort of beautiful wood finish. And then I just would like to introduce the way of using this way. Because usually like a plywood is a cheap material. And then we can see that plywood, okay, it's cheap. Right? But this way, it looks very gorgeous. So I just, I like this.
Is that also the structure of the floor? How deep?
Oh, yeah, this one actually is 40 millimeter. It's less than 2 inches. Yeah, but it's very thick. So insulation-wise, we don't have to have any insulation under the floor. Tatami also. Tatami has some thickness, so it has some function of insulation. So we didn't put any insulation under the floor. And some detail. And then door also, we use a 4x8 plywood, and then cut, and then 3 boards, layer, and in the middle we put the polycarbonate corrugated. And also in the middle of the 2 corrugated panels, we put the air bubble for just usually we use it to cover something to build it, but we put it works well. So some detail. Even the sleepers, we use sleepers. And it's happiest moments. Everybody feels something. That's right. Yeah, it was here. It's amazing, right? Exactly that time, we did it. It was here. We maybe drank too much. Yes.
Not as much as your photographer.
You talked about the floors, but are the walls insulated, and how does that work in this?
Yes. Here the same way, and then here we put that plastic stuff, double layer, in the middle of the wall. Yes. So they're basically, plywood, and then two sheets, and then polycarbonate we finish. So it's still, if we can put that one more layer of plywood, it's better. But if so, it costs double. Right?
What's the fire rating?
What is fire? Oh, it's a good question. Actually, we can apply the non-flammable wood technology here, but still it's very, very costly. So this time this area. And then this area is outside of the city area, so we don't have to. We got the permission from the government this time. That means last time I didn't. Now I did. So, but this time really got the permission from the government, so it's authorized, actual building. And that is very important because we would like to apply this system to other places. So to do so, we need that permission.
Earlier you mentioned you didn't have access to a CNC machine, but this seems ideal for digital fabrication.
Exactly.
So do you have plans moving forward
Yeah.
to then
Yes.
incorporate more of CNC?
Yeah.
And then I ask, do you have those parts now in CAM software to go to the machines already?
Right.
Yeah.
This time actually we use router, CNC router.
And how did that save you on the time of actually producing the components?
Time-wise, it's faster and also very accurate. Cost-wise, because of this location, we had to hire somebody in Sendai City, a bit far away from here. So, and then it's still very rare that way. So a bit expensive compared with doing in Tokyo. But eventually it's getting cheaper and cheaper. And then also maybe we can just get this type of machine everywhere, maybe in the future. So in the future we just think that maybe the cost of cutting getting reduced. That's why for constructing the frame, it's very fast. 2-3 weeks, this one. But again, after 3 months, it's to finish everything. So that part actually I have to improve for finish. Especially this area is very cold. That's why we have to have insulation and then seating and everything to stop jet draft.
Sensei,
Yes.
10 more minutes. So.
10 more minutes. Okay, thank you. This guy is Yoshikawa-san of AFH in Tokyo. He just appointed what is He's a very good guy. He's that guy who supervised for whole 4 months, lived in this area by himself. It's tough work, but he did very well. Then the final day, not only guys, but ladies also work very hard to maintain this. Okay. The guy appeared everywhere. Alright, so the last project is Veneer House 3, which was happening in Myanmar. Dang is 5 hours away from Yangon, the biggest city. And there's no train, that's why we just drove down to this place. And the Manoneri village is the village where around 2,000 people live, and located west of the Myanmar, and it's very wet area. So the problem is, it's beautiful, but can you see, it's a rainy season, like 3 months of the year, it's all wet. So sanitary sort of condition was very bad. It's still very bad. And then this is a sort of a normal house, not just the wood house, but like a banana leaf structure. I mean, banana leaf finish. And it just lasts only 3 years. So we did some, we did some workshop to find where people live and what kind of living condition. And then we did what kind of space you want. So we asked the kids, and we found that like a rainy season, and this is dry season, not out. They do not work afternoon, late afternoon. Usually work daytime, dry season. But the younger also, they actually at home. And then the problem is, those like 3 months, kids and then adults all live in the same place, and then they are very stressful. So domestic violence, sometimes sexual harassment. So that was a very serious problem we found. And then YMCA helped us to sort of propose to build a learning center for kids. And then if so, the kids can come every time, all year. And they're away sort of from that kind of very dense situation. So we started to think, what kind of house we should make. This is a pretty good one because it's a metal and then the wood wall. It's a very good condition still. So we just found that what kind of material, what kind of lifestyle they have. A lot of kids really smiling. That's why, that is a sort of relief part. And serious, but the kids are really and we did some research about housing, typology and material. Then building system. But this one is a wood house. It's a pretty good one. He's a carpenter. But the wood is very expensive first and difficult to handle because it's very heavy and hard. It's a wood from South area. It's like rain wood or like ipe or jara. It's a very hard wood. But it's expensive and very difficult to handle. So, and then we got finally the site. And we tried to use the same system to assemble the frame first by using plywood, which we found that we can get from Thailand. In Myanmar, they haven't manufactured plywood yet. But in sort of cheaper than the regular wood, we could get this plywood from Thai. So we just imported, or we just bought the imported plywood in Yangon and asked my friend to cut. And then we did some project workshop with kids. This is 1 to 10 model. And then kids started to just assemble. Because the system, I just wanted to let them know how to insert and how to construct. We thought that maybe they just break some parts, right? But they didn't at all. It was amazing. He actually couldn't join. Right. Then finally we started to make everybody jump up together and then make 1 to 10 more. Then they knew how to build. Then from the next day we started construction and really kids helped to assemble. Really helpful. He is 13 years old, he is 12 years old and then we and he just hammered very well, actually better than I did. Then finished this one. The base was constructed before we arrived. I came 3 times for this construction, and then first just ordered the local contractor to make the foundation. This is the brick frame and then wall concrete. So it took 2 weeks. Then after that, we finished this one in 1 week. So assembly, which is just 1 week. It's 500 square foot. And very happy. First week. Gradually, so we put the sub-frame here to put the wall, exterior wall. And it's a learning center, so she started to study. It's wonderful. And then they already wanted to use this facility. But some of them did not work. Just like. And then we just make a window with them and just see how it works. Then finally we put the bamboo wall. It's actually very cheap. And it lasts more than 80 years. Construction. And then she just worked continuously. But he just fell down several times because of the heat. I found that woman master. Then finally completed March 24th, a month ago. And really we enjoy this construction. It took only 3 weeks this time. Because first week we just constructed the frame, but the last 2 weeks just to finish this part. And then there's no insulation. There's no double layer, single wall. So it's much simpler. So in this case, actually we found that this is much faster and then it works well. This is balcony. And ceiling, there's a metal roof. That's why it's really ready. I can say heat coming from the roof. It's very, very hot. That's why we put the ceiling and then put some gap and then air goes through. That is our finish. So this part is a window, but here is always open. The window, and you can see. So the happiest moment again. And kids, 50 kids just came from all over this village. And really nice to have these kids. And, they do not speak English at all, but they learn one word, teacher. Teacher is me. So I'm very touched. Teacher, teacher, that's it. But I really could understand how they. So we took a final photo, then we found that I didn't expect like a 40 people just like that. It was smooth, a bit dangerous, but then safely done. So now it's a bit better, right?